Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Sports. We are back again with our daily show Beyond the Boundary, looking at the game that was played today in Hyderabad. And here to discuss that game with me is Tanuj Lakhina. Tanuj, thanks a lot once again. Game did not quite go on expected lines there for us.
Not at all. I actually was thinking as we did our lineup yesterday, what if the top three don't fire? We almost got that, except for Travis Head, the other two didn't work. The Abhishek Sharma and Ishan Kishan didn't work. So the script was flipped, and by a long mile, 300 to nahi, 200 bhi nahi bana.
Bilkul. Or I think that at some level, Rishabh Pant will be the most relieved man because the bowling did quite well. And look at the batting. Travis had teed off once again. But I think it was in the middle that they really lost the plot because the top
Yeah.
three, like we spoke about, they didn't quite fire. Then it was only a question of time before there is inexperience there in the middle order, with only Henrik Klaasen being the most experienced guy. And then it was like difficult once the top three didn't tee off for Hyderabad to come off. Head once again, like I don't know what happens to him when he comes to India. He keeps scoring runs. If you look at the bowling figures for Lucknow,
उसको सिर्फ अहमदाबाद से दूर रखना चाहिए था, बट चलो अब तो देर हो गई है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। पर यार, मैं ये सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, शार्दुल ठाकुर एक बार फिर जबरदस्त गेंदबाजी की। दो सवाल है मेरे, टू क्वेश्चंस। पहला सवाल, पहले मैच में उनको ज्यादा बॉलिंग क्यों नहीं मिला? And when Ashutosh Sharma was teeing off, I think that was a mistake there by Pant. And the second question is, just who were those team scouts or team think tanks who didn't pick Shardul for in the first place? Shardul was all set to go to England to play for Essex. He wouldn't have been even part of this but for Mohsin Khan and the others getting injured.
I think the biggest blessing that LSG can think of is getting the players injured. Now they have Shardul Thakur, an experienced bowler, and we see that impact immediately. So I think injuries का पहले बहुत बात हो रहा था कि how will they cope, and very clearly they can cope very well. Zach है उनके पास in the setup to sort of bring in such a experienced player, taken the given the guidance. So that's a brilliant sort of strategy of two such quality bowlers coming together. Finally,
Absolutely.
injury was an issue, but very clearly they filled in the gap very well.
If I were to ask you, pick one moment that stood out for you from this match, what would that be?
For me, the biggest or the best moment from the match is not from what happened on the field, but right at the end, you had Sanjeev Goenka all smiles, all chatty, and there were fist bumps sort of stuff going on. मतलब फाइनली आज किसी को डांट नहीं पड़ेगा, कोई कोई कल वीडियो नहीं आएगा कि पंत क्या बोल रहा है, जस्टिन लैंगर क्या बोल रहा है. अब फाइनली थोड़ा सा हंसी खुशी का माहौल होगा. टीम टीम में ड्रेसिंग रूम में जाके बात भी नहीं करना पड़ेगा.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। मतलब जबरदस्त बात है कि ऋषभ पंत विल बी वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिलीव्ड पीपल राइट नाउ and he'll be thanking his stars. But for me, the moment, I think probably it's the best and the worst moment, वो जो रन आउट हुआ था नॉन स्ट्राइकर एंड पे प्रिंस यादव ने जो रन आउट कराया था हेनरिक क्लासन का, आई थिंक दैट
हम्म.
वाज अ फैंटास्टिक मोमेंट, बट ऑल्सो like a heartbreak moment for Henrik Klassen because that's the worst possible way for a batter to get out.
Yeah, I
Backing up.
mean, yeah, I mean, what do you do in such a situation also? Like, it's extremely heartbreakingly unlucky. What do you even do? So,
Absolutely, absolutely. We've spoken about the bowling performance. Shardul Thakur 4 for 34, but once again while batting, it was Mitchell Marsh and Nicholas Pooran who teamed up for LSG. They added 116 runs in that second wicket stand. They're simply unstoppable when they were batting.
yeah, they look very good. Like it took couple of wickets at the end where it did look like there was probably a chance of a hiccup, some sort of collapse happening. But then again, they had so much. space to actually maneuver that even if they lost 2 wickets in a hurry, they were good. They were good enough, and at no point did they look like they were going to be bothered enough to lose today. Right
Absolutely,
from
there
the
was a
word go, that
blip.
too.
Absolutely. There was a blip towards the end, but it didn't really matter because
Yeah.
Abdul Samad played a fantabulous innings over there, and that really set the tone. And I was just looking at it. The Hyderabad skipper, he ended up using as many as seven bowlers, and he himself was the most successful bowler there, but not too much avail. I would have thought that just 5 years ago, 190 was a decent name, was a fantastic T20 total, and today
Yeah.
they chased it quite easily in the end with more than 4 overs to spare.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Where is the direction? I mean, this is a probably a larger discussion, but do we want to see teams scoring these many runs where 190 just looks a very small total at this point? I don't know whether this is the right approach to take. It's probably not fair on the bowlers, obviously, but that's probably a discussion for a different occasion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this game is done and dusted. Two
Yeah.
points there uh, for LSG. They are going to go back very very happy. But we
Before we
now
move
move.
on, I actually have a question for you.
Yeah,
I want to understand from for a LS for a Sunrisers perspective. Um, what happens if the top three don't work, or say until Klassen, if things don't work, do they have a plan B?
that's the thing. They've had one failure so far out of two games. So I think they'll just wait and watch to see what really happens going forward. And I think that they'll probably sort of get better at it as the days go along. I feel that it's only going to get better for them in the coming days. I somehow feel that could well be the case for Sunrisers Hyderabad. This was a blip on the radar in my view.
Okay, okay. And now that it's all in the back burner, we can move along to the game tomorrow.
Absolutely, it's a big game. Royal Challengers Bengaluru versus Chennai Super Kings at MA Chidambaram Stadium. There was a time, Tanuj, when the two teams were led by the two most successful India captains, India's most
Yeah.
successful white ball skipper taking on India's most successful test skipper. But both of them are no longer the key players, as at least the captains on either side. Who are the
Yeah.
one or two key players that you're looking forward to from either side?
We can actually let's go with our fantasy 11 picks.
Let's go, let's
Um,
go, let's go.
let's go.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
let me
You
know. Let
first.
me know if you agree with them.
Absolutely.
Let's start with Ravindra as captain. Sort of
Very good pick.
a
Very good
no-brainer.
pick. Yeah.
Let's go with a couple of more no-brainers. Virat Kohli,
Yeah.
Ruturaj Gaikwad,
Yes.
Krunal Pandya had a great start to the season.
Yeah.
Um, Tim David is one of my options in the order.
Very good. Very
Um,
good. I agree with that. Yeah.
CSK fans won't probably won't agree, but Jitesh Sharma is my wicketkeeper.
I think that's a
Uh,
very good pick. That's a very good pick because you have to go with common sense over it, not be driven by emotion.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then Ravindra Jadeja
Yeah.
for what he brings to the table in Chennai, obviously.
Yeah.
Same holds true for Ashwin, which is my
Yeah.
next pick. Um, then there is
But
Noor Ahmed.
I think would you really pick Ashwin here because he's played that one game, but is he really that big a pick for you in that sense?
I think in terms of just what Chipok offers, I think just Ashwin's experience and ability to sort of change the momentum of the game is something that I think none of the other players can bring into the table, which is why I've gone with him as the choice.
Hmm.
Um, but obviously, do you have another idea in place?
Uh, Probably, I think Suyesh, but I think the fact that the pitch is going to be favoring the spinners. Ashwin has the
Yeah.
experience; he knows how to play on this ground.
Yeah.
So I think that will probably be the way to go in the end, probably. But I I still have my worries about Ashwin because I think his fielding is a worry for me. He'll probably hate me for saying this, and also I think in T20 cricket, fielding plays a big part, especially on such
Yeah.
low-scoring venues. Go on. We still have two, three more
A
spots to pick
couple.
up.
Yeah. I'll have my next is Rasik.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think he's
and
one of the most impressive new ball bowlers in the country right now in the shorter formats.
yeah, yeah. And then to round off, in terms of experience again, is Hazelwood.
Hazelwood. What about I would have picked even Noor Ahmed here because I think that Noor Ahmed did quite well in that first
Yeah.
game and he provides a lot of variety with his left arm wrist spin. He's added a different dimension to this lineup.
Yeah, yeah. I actually before I mean in the middle I mentioned Noor Ahmed, but I think with the graphics we missed it. But yeah, Noor Ahmed is one of the picks as well. So
Okay,
I think
so
that's 11. Yeah.
that's 11. But Tanuj, you've done the
Which
honors in picking the playing 11, the fantasy 11. I'm going to be the
yeah,
one who's going to pick the impact, if that's okay with you, impact player.
yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
I think the man to pick over here is Shivam Dubey. He can tonk the ball at will, and he'll probably be used as an impact player by Chennai. Last year they used him as an impact player. I think this time
Yeah,
as well they might end up using him as an impact player quite often. Because if you look at the stats at this venue, uh, uh, it's about someone coming in quickly and scoring a few runs because anyways batting becomes a drag after a point.
yeah, yeah. Fair shout, fair shout.
So
That's actually
this is our
looks like a
fantasy
good.
11.
Yeah, yeah,
This is our fantasy 11 with the impact player. It's up to you guys watching us right now to decide if you agree or disagree with our picks. Tanuj and I have put together this fantasy 11 plus the impact player to make it easy for you sitting at home and what probably looking at us on your mobile phone or your laptop or your television. Uh, you pick you pick what we have picked, or you want to pick a different 11 plus an impact player. It's up to you guys. Am I right, Tanuj?
yeah, yeah. So as far as we are concerned, this is a good lineup to go with.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's the fantasy 11 done. If you look at some of the stats at this venue is being played at this match is being played at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. There are some interesting stats, Tanuj, that Chennai has a better overall record against Bengaluru rather, winning 22 of the 34 times that they've played. And when they're playing at home against Bengaluru, they've won 8 of the 9 games that they have played. So that's a staggering stat.
That's a huge number. I actually didn't know that it's so skewed towards Chennai. But it's sort of obvious and sort of expected also, given the fan support, given how much of a how much of a role the pitch plays in such matches. So to know the surface, to know the conditions, it's something not many teams can do, and fans play a huge role. We can't underestimate the what noise they bring to the table. Just ask
Absolutely.
Neeta Amani as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Tanuj, who are you picking to win this match?
I think Chennai have it in them to go ahead to win this, but maybe not as easy as it could be.
I also think it's Chennai because I think they are a better balanced and have a side with more depth, and they're a side for the conditions. So I think that's
Yeah,
why I think I picked them as the winner as well. That's our pick. Once again, if we can have the fantasy 11 that we picked on our screen, just to let everybody know, that's our fantasy pick with the impact player and the captain and the wicket keeper all rolled out for you sitting at home. So you can use this as a guide when you're making your fantasy 11s. Remember, this is our choice, but you could disagree with us. We'll be more than happy to listen to your choices. Remember to
yeah.
comment, like, share, subscribe this channel. And Tanuj, any final words? One player to watch out for?
Oh, I think off the top of my head, Virat Kohli is someone I want to see how he does. He started very well in the season. I want to see he can whether he can take Kolkata's fire and energy to Chennai as well.
I am looking forward to seeing Mahendra Singh Dhoni on the field because no one better than Dhoni, even at this age, to whip up the bails in a flash. So
0.12
remember,
seconds, just
absolutely,
43.
absolutely outstanding effort by these two champions. So that's it from us today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe the channel. And we'll be back tomorrow with yet another video on Beyond the Boundary. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. Goodbye, good night, and God bless.
Good night.